Have you ever thought about this? How did the world go from covered wagons and cowboys to astronauts landing on the moon in such a short period of time? That change happened in only about one human lifetime, and things continue to change faster and faster today. And yet, for most of human history, century after century would go by with hardly any visible changes at all. Well, there are many factors to this phenomenon, but today I want to talk about just one to help paint the picture of how we got to this point. One small innovation that's so simple you might not even think about it, but without which the modern world truly wouldn't be possible. The simple innovation of glass. Man, that's hot. Glass is formed when silicon dioxide is heated to an extreme temperature and then is rapidly cooled. This can happen in nature, for example, fulgurites, which are formed when lightning strikes sand, or obsidian, which is formed from the heat of volcanoes. But man-made glass actually has a very rich history stretching all throughout human civilization. From ancient Mesopotamian cities to the Roman Empire, glass artists used ancient furnaces that could reach temperatures of over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit and created glass ornaments, everyday household objects, and works of art that lasted for thousands of years. But there is one property of glass that makes it so impactful and important for technology today that wasn't discovered for a very long time. During the 13th century, Italy had become world-renowned for their glass-making abilities. However, due to the dangerous nature of glassmaking and a desire to keep their trade secrets secret, glassmaking had been restricted to an island north of Venice, Italy, the Isle of Murano, also known as the Isle of Glass. There, a scientist by the name of Angelo Baroviere had been experimenting with making different colored glass pieces and wanted to try making glass that was truly crystal clear, something that hadn't been done before. By mixing grounded quartz with potassium oxide from seaweed ash, Angelo created what he called cristallo, truly crystal clear glass. Now obviously, when glass is clear, light is able to pass straight through it. However, if that glass piece is in a concaved or convexed shape, it can seemingly bend and manipulate light. And that is the feature that made it so impactful and led to what would be known as the scientific revolution. Here's an interesting fact for you. After the invention of Gutenberg's printing press and the popularization of books, millions of people came to the realization that they couldn't read, increasing the demand for glass lenses. And as profits for this technology rose, experimentation continued.
About 10 months ago, a report reached my ears that a certain Fleming had constructed a spyglass, by the means of which visible objects, though very distant from the eye, were distinctly seen as if nearby. I prepared a tube of lead, at the ends of which I fitted two glass lenses, both plain on one side, while the other side was spherically convexed on one and concaved on the other.
In 1609, Galileo created his telescope, making profound discoveries about the stars, planets, and our place in the vast universe. And only a few years later, a scientist and artist by the name of Robert Hooke used a similar technique to create one of the world's first microscopes. In 1665, he published a book called Micrographia, detailing his discoveries with hand-drawn illustrations. By the means of telescopes, there is nothing too far distant. By the help of microscopes, there is nothing so small as to escape our inquiry. Hence, there is a new visible world discovered to the understanding. By this means, the heavens are opened. Under our feet shows quite a new thing to us, and in every little particle of its matter, we now behold almost as great a variety of creatures as we were able before to reckon up in the whole universe itself. We have people like Robert Hooke and the microscope to thank for our understanding of biology, germ theory, and modern medicine. Just think of all of the life-saving discoveries that would be made in the future just because of the invention of the microscope. The ability to manipulate light made for the ability to observe and the ability to gain knowledge. This is also the tricky thing about innovation. It doesn't happen all at once. Simple ideas like melting sand into glass stack over time, creating an exponential opportunity for new inventions. Centuries after the scientific revolution, we could not only manipulate light, but capture it. Glass lenses made photography possible, and filmmaking. This video you're watching right now wouldn't be possible without glass. To the King, I do here most humbly lay this small present at your Majesty's royal feet. The great prerogative of mankind above other creatures is that we are not only able to behold the works of nature or barely sustain our lives by them, but we have also the power of considering, comparing, altering, assisting, and improving them to various uses. And as this is the peculiar privilege of human nature in general, so it is capable of being so far advanced by the helps of art and experience. To capture an image is to capture information, but to send information is another thing entirely. Fiber optic cables, which are made out of glass fibers, can send beams of light and information over vast expanses, creating a vast network of information and instantaneous communication, which is just part of the crazy modern world we live in today. I could go on and on about all of the glass-based innovations that made the modern world, and obviously there are many other things that contributed to the modern world, like electrical engineering and mechanical engineering. But to get back to the question in the beginning of the video, how did things change so fast? Did people just magically become smarter? No, there have always been highly intelligent people that made incredible things in the past. But it was that stacking effect that I talked about earlier. When the glass lens became an accessible tool in the inventor's toolkit, the world completely exploded and changed forever. So as you go about your modern life with all of your gadgets and modern conveniences, just know that every piece of technology that you use is the product of generations of hard work and curiosity combined to create what would have previously been thought of as completely impossible.